Well, hello everybody, and this is show 129, and in show 129, I just want to do my little part for the Antichrist, which we all understand is that Christ is the Word, and this is anti-word. We're going against the word magic. He dies at the age of 33, and we know that 33 is associated to the word magic through gematria. So, the whole story starts with three wise men following a star, and it just happens to be that these three wise men happen to be magi, and magi is a magician. Three magicians followed a star, and they also happen to be astrologers. So these magicians went about and they found this couple giving birth, and she actually was able to give birth while being a virgin and remaining a virgin at that, which is kind of incredible. So this probably never happened, but let's look at what's going on here. So we have three kings. King starts with the letter K, and the letter K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. So you have K, 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 which brings you back to the number 33. So at his birth, there was magic indirectly, okay? And you also have a little bit of witchcraft when you understand that this is one magi, this is another magi, and that's another magi. So 1, 1, 1, which is going to be important in a few seconds because 1, 1, 1 is associated to the word witchcraft. Okay, so let's look at Jesus Christ here. Jesus Christ, his name is 11 letters long. Just happens to be that 11 is the beginning of magic inside of the Kabbalah. So we've done it before, but let's look at the Star of Bethlehem. The Star of Bethlehem here, we all know, is the conjunction in the sky of Jupiter as well as Venus. Now, this is important to our story because our magicians as well as our astrologers put this together, as far as I know, in this manner. So we look at Venus, we look at Jupiter, and these planets are associated to gods. That's right, Jupiter is associated to Zeus, and Venus is associated to the goddess of fertility as well as love. So he's the king of gods. And when the king of gods came and looked barely at the goddess of fertility and love, guess what happened? This probably happened. He popped out, and he's the king of kings, just like his father, who is the king of gods. So there is more. So when you look at this, okay, Venus and Jupiter, this is important because this is the second planet, and this is the fifth planet of our solar system, giving us 25 through numerology. And that's what a magician would do. Okay, so we have the number 25, which is kind of great because 2 Venus plus 5, okay, is kind of great because if we go inside the first verse of Genesis, which is when in the beginning God created heaven and earth, okay, that is 7 words long. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 words long in Hebrew, and it just happens to be on the 25th we can pull out a number magic, okay, 7, through the understanding 25 equals 2 plus 5 equals 7. So we got some number magic over here, and we have more number magic because if I am not mistaken, we had the celebration of Saturnalia that was really a wicked celebration, and that had to do with the planet Saturn. Now, Saturn happens to be the 6th planet of the solar system, and it was chosen to be Satan through the understanding that Saturn is very far, way in back and far from the light of the sun. Therefore, it's in darkness, therefore Satan. You see how that works out? Okay, so this is the 6th planet, and we have Satan and Saturnalia that was associated inside the celebration of Christmas. So all that got, you know, like sort of erased, and sort of one got mixed in with the other, and it stayed as the celebration of Christmas. So let's look at some other witchcraft that's inside of Christmas, and that would be our Santa Claus. So Santa Claus over here, if you look at him very carefully, is an anagram. Satan is hidden in the word Santa. So the anagram is here, and Claus is a phonetic duality for clause, which is a contract. So we are going to be renewing Satan's contract collectively, which most likely has to do with this nonsense. Okay, so they tied everything together in a nice bow, and it is a gift for humanity to renew Satan's contract. Now, where do I get the 666? Well, that is through gematria. So when you do the Santa Claus under English gematria, you'll get your 666, and you will also have it under simple gematria represented through 111. Gematria is the numeric of the word itself. So now what can we do with this? We can go find our witchcraft. And if you've been on this channel before, you know that the word witchcraft under English gematria equals 666. And witchcraft under simple gematria equals 111. And we all see one king and another king and another king. So 111, and that's kind of it, you know, and a nice little star, which is important because your 666 can be found inside of this star. That's right, the Star of David, which is also a kind of a deception because it's been there way before David probably came along, but it's also the pictogram of the word magic as well as witchcraft. We know the witchcraft because it has 6 points, 6 triangles, and a 6-sided hexagon inside. So you get your 666, and is representative to the word witchcraft. So it's reflective. Okay, so even though you can't see it through the words, it is reflective through the numbers, and it's reflective through the understanding of the pictogram. So the word magic equals 33, as the M is the 13th letter of the alphabet, the A is the first, the G is the 7th, the I is the 9, and the C is the 3rd. You put it together, that's 33, and a 3 is represented by a triangle, and two threes together, that is your 33 right over here, and that's the symbol for magic as well as witchcraft. Whew. Okay, so we went through that. That is perfect. Now, when we get into all of this word magic and number magic, where does it come from? Well, this is where humanity has a little bit of amnesia, okay? You completely forgot, or you do not want to remember, that Hebrew is 3 languages in one. That's right. It's pictographic, it's numeric, and it's phonetic. We can see the phonetic under clause. All right, we can see the numeric as the 666, and the pictographic, which is your Santa, that becomes your Satan. Okay, so that's the witchcraft. That's how they rule the world, and they've been ruling the world through pictograms. That's right. You can find some of the ancient Hebrew pictograms inside of this. All right, and these have meaning, they have numbers, and as the first pictogram, which is Aleph here, is associated to God, the Creator, Lord, and King. And the last one, which is Tav, is represented by a cross. So you have the first letter and the last letter. When you join them together, you got your story. So let's look at the story. So this is your Lord, on the cross. It is the first and last letter of the Hebrew alphabet through the understanding of their little witchcraft and their word magic. And it is joined together by 3 nails. And that's going to be important because we're going to end up going back to witchcraft. That's right. You have the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is nail, okay? And it looks like a 1. So you would have your 1, 1, 1, and you have your 6, 6, 6, and it's made to join, and we're back to witchcraft. So, sorry folks, nothing new under the sun. It just happens to be that your father here, Aleph and Beth, are really the devil themselves, okay? They've deceived the world. These 3 bozos, okay, deceived the world. They tricked the entire world, and they were magicians, and you fell under their spell. That's right. The father is the Aleph-bet, which is the alphabet. His son, where is his son? Goddamn son. His son is the word, and he dies at 33, and that's magic. Okay, so nothing new under the sun. Okay, it's a magic trick. As you can see it in NATO here, this is a reflective word. Okay, it's autant, and NATO, it's reflective, and you will find the circle and the X, which means ox, and you have ox over here on your first letter of the alphabet. And Jesus is always seen with the little cross in back, and that is the word ox, okay? The X is the last letter of the Hebrew alphabet. And he dies, obviously, because it's the last letter of the alphabet. The alphabet dies right here. And that's where the Lord dies, at the last letter of the alphabet. So nothing new, and that's it. It was trickery. So sorry to ruin Christmas, but yeah, happy holidays.